Hello YouTube, welcome back to BreakIN. I'm Damon Torres and this is episode 31. First of all, this is episode 31. This all started off as a simple train ride and here we are 31 episodes later. Before you know it, we'll be at 50. So as Aries was saying before, in his video this past week, get everybody to like and subscribe and support us. We're going to start doing, as he mentioned, sketches and giveaways and a lot of prints and what have you. And you know, it should be all exciting. It should be fun. And you know, as always, thank you guys. You know, we really appreciate it. And let's make it to 50. So these past couple weeks for me have mostly been a lot of networking and talking to people, people I've met, people I know, etc. So before I get into those details, the work that I have done, I started on a commission. I think I mentioned in a prior video I was going to do one that's a painting. So I finally got started on that, and it feels good to be painting again. If all goes as planned, it'll be done with by next week. It's really it's a different kind of painting for me because I usually do portraits or characters, figures. This one is it's a shot of the Brooklyn Bridge with like a sailboat passing underneath. So yeah, it's been pretty huge learning experience on its own. It's been a long time since I've done a full-scale painting, since before I graduated actually from the Cuba school, so that's over a year now. So it's good to be back into it. Last week I mentioned that I'm going to be working on a pitch with a friend. So far I'm starting to come up with sketches and I've been jotting down ideas. He passed along the breakdowns for his characters, so now I'm just trying to figure everybody out visually before I move on to the heavy part of the project, which is thumbnails, the layouts, the roughs, pencils, you know, the whole job. So Aries had mentioned in his last video that he's doing a strip for a guy in Australia. This is a guy who scouted out for artists on DeviantArt, and he reached out to me and Aries and Ernesto, and it's like the past a year or so, maybe a little bit more than that. The three of us have been doing comic strips for this person. So far I've done 3, and I actually just got word right before filming this video that I'll be receiving the script for the 4th strip next week. So that's extra work on my plate now. And it's been a cool thing to do. It's guaranteed pay, and it doesn't take too much work, doesn't take too much time, and you know, they're fun and cool little strips. So I haven't posted any of them, I think. I'm not sure how I should go about that in terms of what I publish, but I guess the more strips I do, I'll start posting more of the earlier ones. So I also mentioned last time that I started narrative pages again. I did get another page done last week, but I had to put them on hold for now. I mean, I'll still like try to work on them in between, but I have a couple potential projects I might be working on. One of which may be another pitch with another indie writer whom I met a special edition this past year. He had reached out to me saying that he likes my work and I may be the right fit for something he has in mind. So I'll keep you guys posted on that, see where that goes. And the other project I might be working on, and this is actually very different from me, I might be part of an art team for an indie animated horror film. The executive producer on the project reached out to me. He found my work through Facebook, and he emailed me saying he likes the style of my work and such, and you know, the details like that. And it turns out one of my teachers, Darren Ock from the Cuba school, has worked with this company before on a prior short film, so it's totally legitimate. And I'm being tested for it now. If I get put on, it's something I'll be working on for 6 months, 20 hours per week, 20 hours of work per week, and should be interesting. Again, it's something I've never done before, uh, but it should be cool. There's the cast they have so far is actually, it consists of people who starred in films that are very popular in geekdom and pop culture and whatnot. So more details I have on that, I'll be willing to share, and whatever I can share. So aside from projects and future long-term artwork, I worked at Deweys last weekend, and so I visited Jersey for a bit. Um, Deweys is a comic shop in Madison, New Jersey, and it was cool. I got to sit down and get to see old QB alumni and colleagues. So it was cool to see them again. It was cool to see Dan, the owner of Dewey's. It was a very long and humid day, but it was fun nonetheless. Just nonstop drawing from the time I got there to the time I left. I tried to make it back in time to Yonkers, and I think I mentioned the last video I did that I was going to do both these shops. Um, but NJ Transit was very delayed. I didn't get home to Yonkers back until like, I don't know, 6, close to 7 p.m. So by the time I got home, there was no way I was going to make it to Spider's Web in time. I'm pretty sure the artists that were there already gone by then. So, it sucked, but me and Paul are gonna try to Paul's the owner of Spider's Web, try to reschedule another day. Just a final note, which is a pretty cool discovery I made recently. Technology, has come a long way, and I'm sure a lot of us, especially in the art field, has played or grew up playing video games. And growing up, it's always like, stay away from the games. You won't get your homework done. Uh, too much distractions. They make you procrastinate. Everything. Uh, Video games is evil, basically, according to educators. And I was playing, well, for the first time, Arkham Knight, the last Batman game that came out. And I'm not sure how long this has been an added feature. I heard it was pretty recent. But it has a photo mode, and it lets you manipulate the camera and play with the angles and zoom in, zoom out, add filters. Just take different screenshots. It's as if you're using a camera and taking a picture based on the set design of Arkham Knight. And for artists, this actually makes for a great reference tool. Because video games is a whole three-dimensional world. You have your perspective there, your figures, your environments, everything that you would need to put in a comic panel, and a whole comic page. So it was a pretty cool distraction away from the actual game itself, like just finding out that there's a photo mode, and I was taking a lot of shots and playing around with the angles and seeing what I could use as reference for my own panels. So instead of just playing video games, take advantage of the tools that are there, especially with today's consoles and computers and whatnot. I know the Halo series has been doing it for a while too, where they have a theater mode where you could just take photos and record clips and whatever. And again, this makes for great reference material. So yeah, Arkham Knight, if you're wanting to draw a scene with Gothic architecture, or you just want to draw Gotham or some kind of Batman-related page, Arkham Knight's perfect for you. You got Gotham right there, living Gotham. When it comes to Halo, if you want to do sci-fi environments, there goes the sci-fi series right there. So that about wraps it up for this week. As always, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Actually, got to get back to paying it right now, so take care, everybody. I'll see you next week.